Welcome everybody. My name is Liz Ray. I'm a teacher of the deaf. Have been a teacher of the deaf 14 years, and last year I completed my doctorate. So it's really exciting for me to come and share with parents and caregivers and siblings the findings on what hearing siblings have to say about having a deaf child in the family. I really want to, have parents understand how children feel about having a sibling, the relationships that they develop through school, how they're very protective of their sibling, just how it does impact their daily life, but it's actually it's a positive thing, not a negative thing. So the study that I did last year, I focused on 6 hearing siblings aged from 18 to 65. They were half and half. Half the siblings were from a full signing family, and the other siblings were from an oral family, and the children had cochlear implants. Okay, so and I found this really interesting, how do hearing siblings perceive their parents? Just listening today at how much parents are advocates for their children, and nothing's changed. These parents were huge advocates for their children, and they just set the tone for how the deaf child should be treated and how the siblings should interact. They set the complete tone, and the way that the hearing siblings behaved mirrored the parents completely. Siblings said that the expectations of parents were the same for all their children. And this involved doing homework tasks, watching out for each other. You would say, oh, that's just what brothers and sisters do. And they wanted them to think about the future and about choosing a rewarding career. Just typical aspirations that you have for all your kids. And so this equitable treatment that parents really made certain was happening within the family set up this really interesting sense of justice within the hearing sibling, that, you treat people correctly, and you will treat my deaf sibling equitably. And this also created this feeling of normalcy within the family. Well, we're all the same and we'll get equitable treatment. Once again, parents were very proactive. Amazing. Parents couldn't get access to sign language. It wasn't necessarily going to be the choice for the whole of the child's life, but they initially wanted sign language, couldn't get it. So what did they do? They set it up in their lounge. They set up classes in their lounge so that family and friends could learn to communicate with the hearing sibling. This is actually from a study by Powell and Ogle. And this is what siblings said they would like their parents to use, what kinds of strategies. Through my study, and research supports this, the eldest female child, or the eldest girl, generally has the most caregiving responsibilities. And the eldest child tends to have a lot of responsibility. You wonder how much of that used respite care and other supportive services is them worrying about their parents. They did worry about their parents, and their parents being stressed by what, some of the conversation today, accessing services, accessing equipment, being responsible for equipment, all those things. So respite care was important to the hearing siblings for parents. So what did my study tell me most of all? It told me that hearing siblings view their deaf siblings as typical and normal, and they love and fully accept them for who they are. And, just my personal comment is there's much that we can learn. Society can learn from that, and how we support families and how we provide services. I think, it's really important to keep that in mind.
So the experiences for siblings of deaf children, I took away that I need to spend more one-on-one time with my hearing daughter and not put so much pressure on her being a protector. She needs to still be a child, and just talk to them, I guess, just openly about how they're feeling, because as parents, I guess sometimes we don't do that.
So what I would like parents to take away is just the importance of treating your children equally, having the same aspirations and hopes for them, having the same beliefs that they will achieve, do very well in life, and that hearing siblings are such a big part of deaf siblings' lives that there's so many other areas that we can involve them in. And for us to begin thinking about, well, can we involve them in the school? Can we involve them with IEPs? So what other ways can we make the most of the support that hearing siblings give to their deaf siblings?